Thursday evening. Coming to say hi tonight and just let you know I've been up since really early this morning on Zoom calls pretty much all day, so I'm a bit feeling like a bit of a zombie at this point. And I'm sure that some of you can relate because Zoom seems to be, or Skype or Messenger video, whatever you happen to be using, Google Hangouts. There's all kinds of places online that we can virtually hang out now. So my morning started with my Seymour Speakers Toastmasters meeting, which I love them so much. I love being able to see all these familiar faces on the screen in the morning on Thursday mornings. It's early, definitely, especially because I did not get a lot of sleep last night. I was lying and tossing and turning, and I've heard from a few people lately that there must be something in the air. There must be something to do with the moon and all of the planets and where they are and retrograde, etc., that must be wreaking havoc on people's sleep and the restlessness that we're feeling collectively. Because last night I was like a zombie. I could not get to sleep. But this morning, I had a purpose. So if I didn't have to give a speech today, I might have said, I'm too tired to go to that meeting. But because I had a purpose this morning, I got up, I showered, I got ready. I was ready and raring to go. And although I'm tired and there's all these reasons why I think, I'm exhausted, why do I have to do this? I don't feel like it. All of those sort of things that roll around in our minds that stop us from maybe participating in some of those places because, ultimately we've been, overdone with Zoom, whatever the deal is. But here's the truth is I always leave that meeting feeling better than when I came. That because I surround myself with like-minded people and I watch people's leadership grow, like literally on the screen in front of me, as I watch them step up into their leadership, and it allows me to step up into mine. And the feedback that I get is so generous. And I got a letter the other day from one of the area directors from Toastmasters in our region, just saying how much she appreciated my leadership, how much she had heard good things about my leadership. And of course, I was taken aback because I wasn't expecting this letter to come in the mail. And I opened it and I thought it was just a form letter that somebody had sent, which, it happens from Toastmasters International. But this was a, hand-delivered message crafted specifically for me, giving me some gifts of confidence about the things that I do well in leadership to do with Toastmasters. So it was endearing to hear. It certainly lifted my spirits. And it's kind of the thing that I've talked about on many occasions, this idea that when we give gifts of confidence away, that collectively those things start to build people up. And so I know that I feel better when I feel like I've been recognized for something that I do well, something that, the recognition piece is meaningful to me. It's directed at me, not just generalized, which felt really good. And it touched me that someone would take the time and effort to compose this letter and then get it to me and let me know that my contribution is meaningful. And I think that that's an important piece to remember, that it took her a little bit of time, a little bit of effort, and certainly obviously a stamp, which is like 85 cents these days, I do believe. But anyway, it's worth it. And so if there's somebody that you are able to, call up, message, email, preferably maybe face-to-face in a park, whether it's on the screen, whether we're socially distancing, whatever it is that fits for you, but know that there are people that surround you that help you and love you and cherish you, and vice versa, and that it's important to tell each other these things, tell each other how much we appreciate each other, how much we care about each other, because ultimately life is short and moments are fleeting, memories are made to cherish, and happiness and joy are meant to share. So I am here sharing my joy today, that I went directly from that meeting to swamping in the local park with my mom, and just how much I admire my mom. At 70 years old, she dresses so amazing. She is just this bubbly, kind personality, and she's, in my opinion, when I was a child, 70 seemed ancient. At this point in time, she's rockin' 70, and I know will age well and gracefully into her old age. and do it in a healthy fashion. So it was amazing to know that I was able to be in the park with her today. Swamping is something from the School of Womanly Arts in New York City. There was 3,000 women online this morning, and we were all there collectively sharing dance and movement with our bodies and stuff where things get trapped in our bodies, because I think that sometimes we forget that the feelings are energy, and when they get trapped, they're trapped there until we wiggle them out. And so even though there was moments and fleeting moments where people were walking by going, what are these two people doing? Ultimately, I'm proud that I got to do that with my mother. I'm proud and pleased that I got to do that collectively with about 3,000 women all across the world that came to share grief and anger and sadness and hope and happiness and joy and all of those things. And everything was honored that showed up, which was really great, because I sometimes think, we don't tend to like to talk about the sadness, the grief, the rage, the hostility, the anger, that may be under the surface for whatever reason. And I think that anybody who's lived a life and had any level of trauma or betrayal or disappointment in their lives has to have something trapped inside, must have something, unless they've accessed it already, that could wiggle loose. So I was really enjoyed my time with my mom in the park for that reason. And then we came home. She did a live video on her Facebook, and honestly, she's so cute. Personally, I like to upload these to YouTube, make sure that I get them right before I sort of go live. It feels very intimidating to do that, but there she was, just giving her. And she's so cute and lovely, and people respond to her and they watch her videos, and she's good at it. So there she was introducing the Tower Garden. We were looking at how much it's grown in 3 or 4 weeks. It is crazy, the abundance that's coming off of that, and the 28 little portals of different vegetables that we planted, fruits and vegetables, that produce food every day so that my family gets to eat something from farm to table within 20 feet, which is simply amazing. It's organic produce. It's amazing, the taste difference and the texture and the quality difference, because it didn't have to travel long periods of time and wasn't picked early and ripened on the way kind of idea. So I look forward to seeing how that will continue to grow, and she helped me do that. And then spending, the evening just dancing and singing and having fun and being jovial with my granddaughter and my daughter, having dinner as a family. We eat our meals together, which is amazing. I love that tradition in our family, and it's something that's important to me. And my 2-year-old granddaughter doesn't know anything but that, and she likely never will. And so that to me is simply amazing, the traditions that we get to pass along. And the quality time that we get to spend together really connecting. And I cherish all of those things in my life. And being able to connect with my sister this afternoon via Zoom and spending some quality time with her face to face, even though we can't be together, seeing each other on the screen and having a really good visit and good talks about historical things and future things and whatever's coming up for the both of us, and really get to spend some quality time together. And I cherish those moments when we get to do that. So I know for myself, it's been a bit of a challenge lately because I feel like I'm struggling a little bit, but there was the gift today that I really needed. So, I had done 63 or 4 days constantly and consistently, consecutively of daily meditations with Deepak Chopra and the 21-day meditation challenge. And by the time I ended it, I was exhausted, and I'm like, okay, so I just want to take a break. But the problem is that I really enjoyed doing it, and I had forgotten that. So today, all of a sudden, I got this text randomly from my friend, and there she was. You know what? This really helps me, and I really like this lady's meditation. Maybe this might be something you like. And there, sure enough, was my next 20 minutes, because I was like, right, I really enjoyed this. It's something that was good for me. I felt good in my body when I was doing it. And even though I got to a level of exhaustion because I was doing it a lot, consistently, it was a long period of time, I felt a bit overwhelmed because there was also daily tasks involved, which took a lot of time and effort. And although I created some really great results, I just needed to take a little bit of a breather. But I forgot to remind myself to go back and do it again because I really like it. So that random magical text that I got today with this great meditation allowed me just to get into my body and remember that feeling, right? Because I've been feeling anxious and uppity lately. And certainly yesterday when I was driving, which I don't normally do. If we drive, usually my boyfriend drives. I don't usually drive. And I noticed that all of a sudden my anxiety was jacked. And I was like, wow, driving is really stressful for me. I hadn't really equated those two things. I probably knew it in some level, or somewhere in here I understood that, but I really sort of got hit with the impact of, wow, I need strategies to get myself into good places so that driving isn't hectic and stressful, because ultimately I just had to remind myself several times, you're not in a hurry, you're going to be on time, keep breathing, it's fine, traffic's okay, you don't need to speed, you don't need to worry. And I think that, that's sort of been a habit of the I need to worry. I need it's so ridiculous, because ultimately I don't need to worry about much, but for some reason my anxiety thinks different, and all of a sudden I'm worrying about everything, and then finding myself there and going, oh, for God's sakes, like, why are we there again? Is this a joke? Are we kidding? But the truth is, to have an expectation that all of a sudden in 4 months of the year I'm going to undo 47 years of history is kind of silly, really. So, I'm going to keep forging forward, knowing that I'm doing a good job on a daily basis to try and get enough water in me to remember to chew my food all the way through and enjoy the food that I'm eating, listening to my body, tuning into things that I haven't tuned into before, and understanding that it's a process and that I allow myself to make mistakes, because life is messy. Love is messy. Life is messy. It's messy from time to time, often, as a matter of fact. And I think sometimes we forget that it's not just like that for me or for you. It's like that for many people. And it's kind of what makes it magic, is because although there are these really, really great things, it is also balanced with some things that I don't really want to be dealing with, or I don't want to experience, or, the stress levels of driving, which seems silly, but they're effectively something that's a reality for me. So I'm just learning how to govern those things so that I don't become consumed by them. And I think that's our job, is just to be kind and gentle to ourselves and others, and spread joy. Create joy and spread it around, because that stuff, recognition, appreciation, acknowledgement, all of those things are gifts of confidence, and they're free. And the more that I produce them and give them away, the more that I feel that I have them. And so it's magic. So my hope is that you were kind to yourself and others today, that you created some kind of joy and play, or some kind of release for yourself today. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. This is actually day 87. I know that yesterday, for whatever reason, Facebook named it day 87, but this one is 87 for sure. Heading to 90 pretty quick, folks. Love you. See you tomorrow.